What do I do for video today? Well, I got pieces. I broke this earlier, I think 2 days ago, working off camera. What am I gonna do? Let's make an arrowhead out of this one. Yeah. Let's see. Take a picture of that. Before and after. Maybe make a 3-part thumbnail. I got a fancy thumbnail editor these days. Well, fancier than nothing, I suppose. Yeah, let's make an arrowhead out of this. Just for grins and giggles. I was looking at some of my other videos. I had some comments that I had forgotten to respond to. And I noticed that the format for some of my old videos, or the way I presented things, is kind of cringy. So I tend to not watch my old videos. Yeah. But I keep them up, just maybe somebody can get some benefit. Yeah, but they're pretty cringy, I think. Some of my old instructional videos. I tried different ways of presenting the information to see if it had any effect, or if they had different responses or whatever. No, my videos pretty much have the same audience every time, no matter what. You guys might not watch all the way through, but you'll click. So I get about the same amount no matter what I do. I think if I change my video format a lot and then stay a lot different, then maybe I would lose or gain people in a significant number. But I don't plan on changing the usual format. I might add to it, like I'm adding some live streams. Next live stream is going to be the channel news on Wednesday. Yeah. I'm going to have a channel news live stream on Wednesday. I'm thinking 1 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Eastern for a regular time. Let me think here. You know, have it early for people who are able or not able to tune in late. I'm having a regular live stream on Friday nights now at 8 p.m. Eastern, but I'm going to do my channel news as a live stream as well on Wednesdays. So I think 2 p.m. Eastern for the live stream on Wednesdays fits into my schedule pretty well. I usually get my errands done by Tuesday. I should have all the shipping done, and then if I don't, I mail it off Wednesday morning. So yeah, by 2 p.m. I can usually sit down and do a video for an hour. I think Wednesday I can do an hour, and then Friday nights I can do 2 hours. But I'll post it as an update. How's that? I'll give you an update before the next live stream. Yeah. So you guys can be famous. Yeah. I'll announce your names on the live stream. And you don't have to even give me a super chat. What's a super chat? I don't know, but I saw another guy that does live streams and gets what he called super chats, little donations during the live stream, and they do shameless plugs and advertising. They'll pay. They'll do a little donation super chat, but then they expect you to give them a shout out, which I think that's the deal. You pay for a super chat and you get a shout out. So maybe I shouldn't give you guys a shout out when I'm doing a live stream because you won't give me a super chat. Don't worry about it. I just thought that was interesting. Super chats. I think I signed up for everything. When I go live, you have to do a little settings change to be able to do live videos. So I went into my settings. You gotta change or set up the number of ads that appear in your videos, or the time that the ads appear. You can do it like every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes, 15. I put it in there as the maximum space between ads. Every 30 minutes is what I've got. That they don't allow the ads to be spaced out more than that. So every 30 minutes you're going to see an ad from YouTube if you don't have the YouTube Premium subscription where you don't see any ads. Right? And I don't have any paid announcements during my live stream unless someone gives me a super chat, right? I think that's how it works. Yeah, I'm not going to have a sponsor where I do an advertisement. I don't like watching videos that have those. So I'm not going to do it. I don't like ads to begin with, but I had to make that choice in the settings, so I spaced them out as much as possible. Of course, it reduces the amount of revenue I get for the video. The more ads I put into the video, the more revenue I get from it. But I was going to demonetize all the chats anyway. All the not chats, but the live streams. I'm thinking of demonetizing the live streams anyway. We'll see what happens. I'm going to ask one of my sons to see if they still run ads on my YouTube videos if I demonetize them. Because I know that they do. I know YouTube will run an ad even though I have my video demonetized. They'll still run an ad on the video, like in the beginning or something. But I don't know about the live streams. It's like in a different category. Why do I have live streams now? Because it adds a little bit of fun, like we're at a nap-in or something. Yeah. I actually enjoy it. Something that's enjoyable. It's a rare thing. A rare treat for me to do something I enjoy. Yeah. And we don't even have to talk about napping. Nope. I'm not gonna fuss. I do think we should talk about Flintknapping a little bit. But we don't have to. No. Whatever topic you want to discuss is fine with me. Because I discuss all kinds of things when I'm napping. Yeah, lots of irrelevant stuff. Someone asked me to recommend some, now that I remember, what do you call them? Documentaries. I gotta look them up. I have saved in my favorites some documentaries. I just forget to look it up. I like giving out information on documentaries and stuff, that kind of thing, and helpful videos. There are guys that can do very good knapping instruction, right, on their techniques. I will provide links to those, but I'm going to provide links to my favorites. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit biased as to who I like to link out. Yeah, and you know, not because they've been nice to me or anything, but if someone asks me a question about the video, I don't want to have to go, oh man, now I got to go watch that video that, you know, I don't really like it. If that happens, I tend to not do it. My brain finds an excuse to do something else. Yeah, I gotta clean the stove. My brain will say something like that. I gotta clean the oven. And my other part of my brain will say, you don't even use the oven. Yeah, but I gotta clean it. It's been 30 for years. I haven't even looked at it. I bet you it's got cobwebs. I bet you. Cobwebs are nasty. Yeah, when I was taking care of my dad, I didn't bake or anything in the oven. Everything was just instant microwave stuff for him. And for me, I just used the top of the stove to cook meat and boil meat. And I have a slow cooker too, so I never use the oven. I don't make pastries like I used to. Yeah, I used to be Mr. Pastries. Anyway, that's what my brain does. And I can't help it. If I don't like something, I won't do it. It's annoying. I have to force myself to do it, or distract myself enough that I'll do it before I know what's happening. Yeah, before I have a chance to be disgusted. Yeah, that fits. You know what I mean? Only the ADHDers kind of know what I'm talking about. It's a workaround for your executive dysfunction. You gotta fool yourself before you know that you're fooling yourself. It's gotta be quick, because if it takes forever, your brain says, no, it's not gonna work. You're just fooling yourself. It's not gonna work. You know what I mean? The brain knows. It says, yeah, you're trying to be smart, but you're not gonna get me to do nothing. All right, so these notches are a little bit too deep. Am I done with this little arrowhead? No, it's only 13 minutes. I got time to make it fancy. But that's how it looks. These are arrow foreshafts. Are they modeled after real ones? I mean, are they exactly exact? Precisely exactly exact? No, but they do fit into real... This one fits into a real reed. Okay? That's what I made it for, to fit into a reed. And this one, you can just make a drill, which reminds me, I got to make a drill on video. A stone drill of this size, and then drill out either a reed or something with pith, and insert it about 1.5 inches, or maybe, yeah, 1.5 inches into the top of the arrow. Yeah. Some foreshafts are thick at the top and taper down. Some are the opposite. They're thick at the bottom and taper toward the tip. It depends on how you want to make your arrows. Okay? It's easiest just to do the taper from the fat end here down skinny that way, because the natural shoots are that way. But you can do it this way too. The natural shoots, of course, taper this way. You can put the notch on the skinny end and then do another point on the other end. Or you can even put a socket, but the sockets in wood, I don't think it's as common as the tangs. Although it does work. You put a socket in the bottom of the wood, the same way you would put a socket in the bottom or in the top of the shaft for the arrow. It just depends on how you want to do it. I tend to do it this way with the tang on each thing. It just makes it easier because I can exchange this between reeds or other solid woods. It's the same setup. You can't do a socket for a reed arrow shaft. You know what I'm saying? Because the reed is hollow. You can't put the reed into a socket. You gotta do it the other way. Okay. Let's see what we can do and not be too cringy. This fits already. See the thickness? I tested the thickness out and it fits. So all we need to do is just the shape. That's what I was doing. You didn't know what I was doing, except you thought I was showing off the foreshafts. I was testing the thickness, if it fit into there. And this one's got a little bit of looseness. This one is a little bit tight. So, it's good. Yeah. I don't need to thin it. You gotta do that with all the arrowheads you're making. You don't do that? No? Man. How you gonna learn bushcraft if you don't do the whole process? Am I kidding? Yeah, I'm kidding. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything but nap. Yeah. Some people are, no, I'm a purist. The only thing I do is nap, and only on one type of material and only one type of tools. I only use copper, and that's it. And some people, no, I use everything. Any material, any tool, any time. That's the beauty of it. Nothing is correct and nothing is wrong. It's just the way you want to do it. Oh, come on. The camera. I gotta mess with the camera. All right. Are we able to see? I'm not able to see. I need my other glasses. You might be able to see, but I can't see. Where's that going? I got that's the 3. I need the 3 to do the small stuff. Right now I have the 2. Where to go? Don't show it. Okay, I won't show it. I won't show all the dust on here either. I noticed that glass, when you abrade the glass and obsidian, it produces a lot more dust. I have obsidian and glass dust now as a fine layer coating everything in my shop. Ooh, this is better. Yeah. The 3 is better. These are just cheap Walmart glasses. Readers. Alright, ready? Yeah. I'm just sharpening. Oh, wait. You know what I should do? I should put some serrations or something. Something cool. Just sharpening it. It's so boring. Gotta put serrations. Or notches. Or both. Everything. Put everything into this little bitty arrowhead. I should spend an hour and a half just on this little one. Yeah. No? I want to see the big blades. I'm having withdrawals. You used to show big blades. Yeah, I do big blades sometimes. I don't like them. In case you don't know. Some people just don't know. They're brand new. They just tuned in. They're expecting all nappers to like big blades. I don't like them. Because I'm weird like that. If I need a knife, I just use a flake. I don't see much advantage in having a big blade at all. If I'm doing bushcraft with stone tools, I don't see any advantage for what I do in a big blade. None. I work all with flakes when I do woodwork or any kind of bushcraft with stone. It's all with utilized flakes. And I don't care. I'm low tech. I'll even use a chunk. I'll grab a chunk like this And I won't even modify it. I'll just find different facets on here for me to use. And I'll work wood like this with this big chunk. And that's it. And if something breaks off, oh well, let's look for a different spot. I won't even make a blade. Or I won't even make a flake. I'll just use the chunk. I'll knock something off the side, yeah, to make a sharp area. But that's it. The only way that I would ever use a stone knife blade is if I had to make a weapon to fight with. Yeah. Then I would make a knife. If I had to fight, then I would make a bladed knife. A fancy bladed knife. That's the only way that I would actually sit down and do that. Otherwise, I don't need it. Why is it that a knife is better for fighting? Because if you fight with this, it's not as handy. Right? It doesn't have a handle on it. But that's not what I mean. You can drop this. It's difficult to wield this in a fight, although you can. But you can cut yourself on it in a pinch. It's hard to conceal it. And in a pinch, it's hard to know exactly how to hold it so that it's most effective against your opponent. But when you have a knife with a handle, you know exactly where the blade is. You know exactly where it is if it's concealed. You design it so it'll fit somewhere where you can conceal it or whatever. Or it doesn't have to be concealed. But you know what I mean. Weapons have to have or meet certain criteria. So that's what I would use the knife for, just as a weapon. What about skinning and butchering? I use flakes for that. Yeah. You mean you carry a flake when you go hunting? Yeah. Why, you don't? Crickets. I don't carry no flakes. Stupid. Okay, well, good luck. You're out hunting and you break out that fancy knife and you hit it up against a tree. Dunk, breaks off the knife. Breaks the top of the knife off and you got just the handle with a little stub. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have to use that upper part of the blade. Just pretend this is the upper part of the blade. Just like you would use a flake. Yeah. Same thing if you make a knife for fighting, you might hit it against a tree. Yes, I know. But I'm only gonna whip it out if I'm gonna fight. Yeah. Okay. If you have a knife for hunting, you're gonna find the carcass and you're gonna take out the knife and you're gonna be moving around and butchering and setting up a place for the meat to be hung up, or you might even hang up the carcass. You'll have the knife out for various tasks, and it's so easy to bump it up against something. How do I know? I don't know. That it's so easy to bump it up against something that you might end up just snapping it before you even get to use it. Whereas if it's a fighting knife, the only time you take it out is if you get attacked. Yeah. And then the fight's usually over in a few minutes or less. It's over in less than a minute. Yeah, either you're gone or your opponent's gone in less than a minute. Sometimes in a matter of seconds. That goes for humans or non-humans. With an animal. An animal can take you down and defeat you in a matter of seconds. Either way. What would I rather have as a weapon against animal? A spear, a knife, or an arrow, or a ladle dart, or club, or stick? All of the above, man. Carry everything. Actually, yes. That'd be better. But try not to overload yourself. It's best to get proficient with 1 or 2 weapons, but you know, the more weapons you're proficient with, the better. And if you can whip them out quickly, it's best. But yeah, I think a spear for me, a handheld spear would be the best. I don't want to get up and close and personal with anything. Yeah. If I don't have to. It's better to keep things at a distance. So yeah, I would have a spear. Carry around a spear. A spear tip. Well, you're going to bump the spear tip up against a tree. Yeah, I know. You're right about that. So I'll make my spear tip out of bone. Won't even make it out of stone. That way if I bump the spear against a tree, it doesn't break the stone tip off. So there you go. You shouldn't ask that question on a video because I wanted to ask it during a live stream. You can still ask during a live stream. What would you rather have with you as weapons if during the Stone Age? Just as, you know, just as a thought experiment. You can still ask during the live stream. Not everyone's going to watch this video because they think making a little arrowhead like this is lame. Yeah. They don't want to watch somebody make a little arrowhead like this. So they don't even know what we're talking about during this video. What did I do to this earlier? I spilled something on it. What did I spill on this? I have no idea. Yeah, I gotta sniff it because you never know. It might have landed in some possum poop, but I don't think so. This didn't end up outside at any time. I think it landed in a puddle of snow. Because I'm bringing in snow and it's sticking around in the shop because it's so cold in here. Tonight's not too bad. It's like 52. We had a warming spell. With the sun came out. And so it warms up the shop. Anyways. I need to make another pad. For myself. Okay? Don't get no ideas. If I were to have little arrowheads for my arrows, would I make them in this shape? Is this what I recommend for bushcraft? No, I just recommend just straight triangles. Nothing fancy. Triangles are oval shapes. Yeah. That's what I recommend for survival arrows. And small. That way you can make a bunch with very little material. Because you're going to probably need a bunch. For bushcraft. Now, if you're trying to survive, I don't recommend spending a whole lot of time doing flintknapping. You got to spend your time trying to walk your way out of the situation. But if you're living outside, and it's now your home because you want to live off grid for a while, and you know you have the comforts of home basically because you've set up your little lodge or your cabin, but you want to go hunting. I recommend little arrowheads because you don't have to bring much out there with you. And maybe you only got creek gravel. If you got some knappable stuff on the property, you don't have to have big old chunks. Right? Right. Yes, yes. You're so agreeable. Yeah. anyways, yeah, triangles or oval-shaped arrowheads for bushcraft. Nothing fancy. Use a lot of wrap with minimal amounts of glue. Is this as wide as the foreshaft? So you want the stem to be the same width as the foreshaft. See how it's the same width? How did I know? I don't know how I know these things. Okay? Because when you want it the same width as your foreshaft notch, because it makes it more firm when you wrap it. Now, do I also want to put notches up on the top? Yes, I do. I want to. Yeah, it helps a lot. So you just use minimal glue and lots of wrap. Yeah. Why minimal glue? Because you don't want to spend a whole lot of time. Time is very important. You'd rather be sitting in a blind or something, or hike out to your hunting spot, spend time doing that rather than spending time in camp, I would think. You know what I mean? So I'm just telling you what I would do. Am I eventually going to try to live off-grid? Yep, I am. Eventually, that's my goal. And I'm not going to be spending lots of time looking for glue or making glue. And I'm not going to go looking for scat to put in my glue. I will talk smack about anyone using scat for their glue because it's so silly. And it's much easier to find plant fiber to put in the glue. If that's what you want, is fiber from plants, you don't have to spend 30 minutes looking around for scat. What if there's no scat where you are at? What if there's no scat where you're at? You gotta go look around. So, I can't finish my glue because I can't find no rabbit poop. So there you are, trudging around looking for it because somebody on YouTube says you gotta use it. No, man. You just take 10 minutes, go over there to that little plant over there, strip some bark off, and you got plant fiber. Or some grass. You can make your own shredded grass, so you don't have to wait until the animal poops it out. It's so silly. For example. And what about charcoal? What about charcoal in the glue? Well, you gotta build a fire, right? Well, you gotta build a fire to melt the glue anyway. Really? Do you really? No, you don't. You don't have to build a fire to make glue. You can just use it straight from the tree. You never done that? Well, you haven't found a pine tree with a fresh wound that has sticky sap still on there? I mean, the glue's not going to be all that great because it's kind of gooey, but it's still glue. Better than nothing. What else can you use for glue that doesn't require a fire? That's a good question. That's one of the things I want to answer. I've tried using stuff like egg white as glue, but it's not that strong. It barely will work as glue. Stuff like that. But you gotta have eggs. What else have I tried? Oh, you know what? You can chew Sinu, and your saliva will make it dissolve slightly in your mouth. You spit out the dissolved Sinu, And as long as you don't produce all that much spit, it does work as a glue. The saliva does partially digest whatever you put in your mouth. It could be sinew or a piece of rawhide, or even a piece of meat, I think. Anyway, you can. I've seen a video where the guy was chewing up sinew and then spitting out the dissolved mix of saliva and sinew, and using it as a glue. Yeah. So there's something you don't need to build a fire for. You don't have to spend all that much time. Is that good, or do you want to go further? Is that it? Is it good enough? I think it's good enough. For some reason, I lost some thickness because it's loose now. So what I would do is I would haft it to about there. Right there. And then I got a choice of using all the notches or only 2 notches or maybe not even any of the notches. I got options. With this type of arrowhead, I got several options. If you can see. I can use all the notches for wrapping. I can use only one, either the upper or the lower, or none. Okay? And it's good. Where is my tape measure? This one is 3/4 of an inch wide. It's almost 7/8, okay? So it's almost hunting legal in most states. Do I have sinew available? I do, but it's all inside the house. So I have an excuse not to use it. Do I have thread? Let's see if I have thread here. What is this? I think I bought this for bowstring. 100% polyester. Yeah, I bought this for bowstring, but for now it'll substitute as sinew, okay? It's waxed polyester. It's usually used to sew up tents and stuff like that. Okay, so let me think here. I want to make a wrapping. Well, we'll just wing it. Yes or no? Hold on. I'm doing this on the fly, okay? No one gave me no warning. I wasn't supposed to do this, but you guys insisted. Okay, ready? Around at least once, and then the other side. Back down, around at least once. We'll just skip the formalities and just finish up. Okay? If I was really going to use it, I would put more wraps. Okay, so let's go back and let's do one more wrap. Let's see. Down at least once around when you go down, and then back up. And I'm going to wrap the top one too. Yeah, just for grins and giggles. Back down. Once around. At least. Go back up. Come on. No, I can leave that there. Go across. It's supposed to go across where and cover the wood, but we're not going to cover the wood. You know what? I might go all around this way. Yes? At least once around. And back up. cross over. You can wrap it a lot, but too many reps. It's all not in focus anyway. All right. Too many wraps around it isn't good. But I know there's artists out there that would immediately think of a better way to wrap this. I know. I'm just doing this on the fly. Mr. Flakes doesn't have a flake to cut this. There it is. Come on. I know you can do it. And then, ready? Where's my pliers? I carry my pliers when I do bushcraft. Yeah. Little bit of pliers. Little set of pliers, right? You call it a set. There it is. You pull that all the way through, and then you take your flake that you'd always carry with you, just like Utsi, the Iceman, and trim it. Beauty. And you fill the gaps with glue. Or you don't make it that long. Or that deep. You don't make the notch that deep. Come on. You don't make the notch that deep so that you don't have to fill that with glue. And look, it's pretty solid. Ouch. And if you grind the inside of the notches, you can pull it really, really tight. Okay? Beautiful? Yeah, and glue can make the transition smoother. But like I said, I wouldn't use a notch that deep. I'm just doing this for demonstration. It would fit without having so much space if you use a shorter notch. Okay? But now with Sinu, it sticks to itself, so I would just wrap it with Sinu and then finish off just by smearing. I wouldn't have to do that loop thing. But you can do that loop thing with Sinu too, if you want. I just think it's redundant. Yeah, so that's what I do. So I take a picture of this. Alright. Just for grins and giggles, because I want to do fancy thumbnails now. Yeah. Alright. Why did I get waxed polyester for my string? For a bowstring? Because it doesn't stretch. If you use nylon or something like that for a bowstring, it's very stretchy. And I bought this color because it reminds me of Sinu. It's like ivory. Yeah. Just that little arrowhead requires that much of a piece of Sinu. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. That's about a foot. Minimum 1 foot to wrap a small arrowhead. Twice that much for a larger arrowhead. 3 times that much for a little dart point. So like 3 feet. Sinu for a little dart. Okay, so there you go. Easy peasy. I think I already took a picture of that. Alright, that's it.